Okay, everybody. Hope everybody is having a wonderful Thursday. I wanted to create a video primarily for my American literature and literary heritage classes about setting up an annotated bibliography. Now, I'm coming into this course with the idea that y'all already know how to set up an annotated bibliography from either a composition course that you had, either here at ETSU or elsewhere, or just prior experience. But if you don't know how to set up an annotated bibliography, or if you just need a refresher, hopefully you will find this video informative. Now, you will need an annotated bibliography as part of your mini anthology project. And though we will cover the basics of an annotated bibliography in class, I don't know if we'll have time to cover all of them. And besides, I want to create a video in which I set up my own so that you know how to do this, especially if you need a refresher. What is an annotated bibliography? First off, an annotated bibliography is just a fancy term for a document that houses all of the sources, right? Now, for this project, you only need to incorporate 3 sources into your essay itself, 3 scholarly sources, but you need 5 sources total in your annotated bibliography. As its name states, each source must have the annotation, which is the MLA-styled works cited entry, plus the the bibliography, which is the works cited style entry, plus the annotation, which for my class is just a paragraph summary of the source. And it includes just a summary and how you think you can use that in your essay. So about 6 to 8 sentences for each. And you're going to do this for all 5 of your sources. Again, 3 of which must be scholarly. Now, you're probably saying, Dr. Martin, how do I set this up? All right, well, let's walk through it. All right. So I'm going to open up my Word document. Hopefully you'll still be able to see. Word document. Once you open it up, yours should look like this. Of course, do all of the MLA styling, all that kind of good stuff. Switch to Times New Roman, all that kind of good stuff. Make sure your paragraphs, of course, are 0 point and double. All right. Now, for this, you don't necessarily have to put the heading. You don't have to put your name, my name, etc. Don't worry about all that. But what I do want you to do is go over and just type annotated bibliography. All right, press enter once. Now we will go over here. We will go left indent. And this is where we will start. Notice we don't number anything like that. We will start with the first bibliography, the first works cited entry. And of course, like the works cited page itself, this is going to be in alphabetical order. All right, so let's just go ahead and find a source. I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to go find a source, and this will show you how to find a source. Anyway, let's go to ETSU library. All right. Go ahead. Let's just type in a source related to a project, and I'm doing American Lit, and let's just type in naturalism. Let's say that we are writing about naturalism as it applies to American literature, either in a free will sense or deterministic sense or whatever. But let's just say our anthology is structured around ideas of naturalism. So I'm going to type in naturalism. Actually, I'm going to type in naturalism, early American literature. All right. And of course, with anything, you'll have to play around with your search terms to come up with the best results. Let's wait till this. Okay, let's say that we want to just, kind of get an over. Let's say we're writing on Jack London's To Build a Fire, and we want to use this. This looks like an interesting article. I know it's scholarly because it has been peer-reviewed. Peer-reviewed sources are always scholarly for the most part, right? But that just means they have been looked over by educated members of the field, right? They are peer-reviewed, they are scholarly. I noticed that this is available online, so I'll just go ahead and look at that. That's what we got here. And let's pretend that I actually look over it, I read it, etc., and I get an idea of what it is about. Now, what I want to do to get the bibliography, I want to make sure that I have all that I need to write the bibliography. You may have to go to the OWL at Purdue, and I'm assuming that you will have to go to the OWL at Purdue for a refresher of what you need. But I've got the article title here, and what I like to do, I just like to go ahead and, if it'll let me just go ahead and actually what I'll do, Fry Stephen. All right, so we put, okay, we put the author's name first. We got naturalism and the literature of the American West. Naturalism and literature of the American West. All right, that is the article title. Now we want to put the journal that it's in. Studies in American Naturalism, a scintillating journal, nevertheless. All right, because it's a journal, let's go ahead and italicize the journal. All right. We'll also see if there's any volume or issues. Let's go back over here. There are. So we just copy and paste, like so. Boom. Solid. That is the bibliography portion. Now, the trick, however, and we'll go after this in a bit, I'll show you how to formally set it up. We're going to have to do a hanging indent, but we'll leave that out of the picture for right now. So here is the bibliography portion. Now it's time for the annotation, and the annotation is just, again, about a paragraph and a half summaries, about 6 to 8 sentences, and what you want to include is just a summary of the source and how you think you can use this in your research. So if I'm writing about this, I might say, Fry's naturalism and literature, of the American West was an informative piece to read and think about. That's because my anthology is structured around the theme of American naturalism, specifically idea of free will. Actually, specifically the idea that nature is indifferent to our plights. From this article, I learned, and then, what did you learn, right? Include a quote, etc. Like and then I think I can use this article to help elaborate on contemporary definitions of naturalism, and so on and so forth. And I would have to have a couple more sentences, right, as in-depthly as possible, but that is the paragraph for our intents and purposes, right? This is the bibliography. This is the annotation. Together we have annotated bibliography. Now, if we just left this like this, it would get kind of confusing, right? So where does it, we start a new source, it kind of runs on. So what we have to do a hanging indent. The easiest way I found to do a hanging indent, and I know there's other ways, is to just click on ruler in case your ruler is not here. Mine is here, but if it's not, type in ruler, show ruler. You'll see the ruler right here. Now you'll see up top, you move your mouse, first line indent, you'll see left indent. What we want is hanging indent, and we want to move the hanging indent 0.5 inches. Now, what do you hanging indent? You hanging indent everything after the first line of each citation. That means all of this. All right, so I've highlighted. I'm just going to move this bad boy over like so. And for some reason, this always like hangs out. So I'll just press tab. Boom. Perfect. All right. That way I can press enter and it moves like that. All I have to do is hit backspace and I start over. I've already got that tab set up. So do this for all 5 of your sources. Now, again, depending on what you use, you may have different citations depending on the type of source. So please consult the OWL at Purdue. All right. Please let me know if you have any questions, and hopefully this helps you out.